following story was told before a live audience at Covenant Fellowship Church of South Holland on May 10, 2025. It was part of a 3-part storytelling event highlighting God's faithfulness in the lives of 3 people. Psalm 66, verse 16 says, "Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for my soul." Today, you've tuned into the story of Byron Debose. Thanks for listening. All right. Please join me in welcoming Byron Debose to tell his story this evening. Hi, Byron.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for agreeing to share your story with us this evening. Back in February of last year is when you first came to Covenant Fellowship Church. We're going to start more recently. Tell us that story first, then we're going to go back in time a little bit. You start there.
Okay, well, so it was on a Sunday in late February.
Yep.
I was on a walk, and I came from a halfway house on Halstead right here in James, the House of James. And the reason I left to go on the walk in the House of James is because my fellow housemates was talking about their past, the things they done in prison and the things they were, what they did in the past to get in prison.
Sure.
So they were just reminiscing about all type of negative stuff. So I took it upon myself to just leave and go on a walk, which I had been doing since I got out of prison. So I took a walk from, I made a left first and went up to Wood Street, then came back down. So on these walks, I usually just have a conversation with God. So, and I was telling about what I was escaping from and so on and so forth. And I told him that I need a safer place. So as I was walking, I initially went to the church here on Vincent.
Yeah, over in the corner here.
Right.
Yep, okay.
They were closed, and then I made a U-turn. Some just told me to turn around because I usually walk all the way to State Street. But he, just turned back around, and I seen Covenant Fellowship, and I seen there was cars in the parking lot. So I came to the door. It was a Sunday night service. I came to the door, and I believe it was locked. And I think the first person that came to the door was Pastor Richard. And he let me in, and I sit in the back row there, just listening to him preach. Afterwards, I talked to him and the congregation that was there, and they invited me back, and I've been here ever since.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Praise God. Byron, you mentioned that you were living in the halfway house just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you landed after 30 years in prison. It wasn't long ago that when you joined this church, you sat in a chair right over there with a microphone, and you told the congregation that you had been in prison after 30 years, and what you said was you were in prison for a crime that you couldn't prove you didn't do.
You're right.
Say that again. A crime that I couldn't prove I didn't do. Can you bring us back to when you were 17? Tell us about the circumstances of your imprisonment.
So from the age of 10 is when all the trouble started. So, and then at the age of 11, that's when I was I wasn't taken from home. I was just taken off the streets and placed into the state. So I became the ward of the state.
Okay.
So I used to go back and forth to Miss Hattie Tate's house, and
You said Miss Hattie Tate.
yeah, that's her name.
And this woman was?
My foster grandmother.
Okay, your foster grandmother.
And so at this time, at 17, just to get to the question right. At 17, I was I had an asthma attack, and I went to the clinic on what was that's Springfield. No, that was Grand and Monticello.
This is North Lawndale, correct?
No, this is Northwest Chicago.
Northwest Chicago. Okay.
Yeah. So when I went in there, I had to seen the doctor. His daughters took all my information, so on and so forth. They give me my inhaler, let me go. So I walked back down to Hattie Takehouse, which is on Grand in Springfield.
Okay.
So a crime happened, a stick-up happened, a stick-up murder happened on Division in Springfield, which is just like a block and a half going back west.
Okay.
So at this time, okay, I should just, make you aware that I'm not, at this time in my life between 10 and 17, I am not a good person. I am not. I'm a street kid. I do what I want to do, but I haven't crossed the line of killing nobody.
You've made some bad choices.
No, there was conscious choices that I made. I was a drug dealer. I often robbed drug dealers. I did just about everything except sell myself and kill somebody.
You had a reputation probably in this neighborhood.
Yeah, so I was a part of a rival gang which was called the Unknown Vice Lords, and in that gang, in that neighborhood, it was Latin folks, MLDs.
Okay. So you're sitting on the doorstep of Hattie Tate.
I'm sitting on the front porch of Miss Hattie Tate.
And what happens?
The police arrest me. They just roll up and they get me. Now, these are familiar police because they normally patrol the neighborhood. So they know who I am.
Okay.
And he just rolled up and arrested me.
So you were sitting there, you were at the doctor's office, and then you were sitting there the whole time.
Yeah.
Why would they arrest you?
Because Marlo told them that I did the crime, which is the chief of the rival gang.
The chief of the rival gang told the police
that I
you
committed.
did the crime.
Absolutely.
And to put it pointedly, this crime was someone robbed a grocery store,
Yeah.
and in the process shot and ended up killing someone at that grocery store.
So this crime was happening ongoing. So it was a string of robberies, grocery store robberies. So we had like maybe 4 or 5 corner stores there, and they was constantly getting robbed by this one individual. Yeah.
So the police get this tip that you're the person who did it.
No, it wasn't no tip. He just came and told me,
They
yeah,
just
he
came
did it.
and took you away.
Yeah.
And isn't it also true that you had the same haircut or something as?
Now, what had happened, yeah, so in 1993, we used to wear these designs in our hair. We used to wear a bald fade, which is a style of haircut, and in the back of the head, we have all type of designs, lines, just, regular designs. That was real popular back then.
So you had that.
And
The
dude
person who committed this crime also had that.
had the same haircut, or something similar, probably not the same.
So your reputation in the neighborhood
Yeah.
for kind of being a bad kid, you having the same haircut, and the police being told that you were the person that did it
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
enough
enough
for them.
to convict me,
to arrest you.
arrest me, yeah.
You go to the police station. You had a long night there. Can you tell us about that?
So, when they arrest me, they searched me, they took everything, and left it at Miss Tate house. So I go to a police station. They talk to me for hours. I'm now having problems breathing again because they left my inhaler at the house. So they need to either go there or have Miss Tate go get it. So in the process of them arresting me, they also arrested my younger brother, my younger stepbrother or foster brother, Kenyatta, which is headed to real grandson,
Okay.
her baby.
Okay.
So when she brung my inhaler, she said, keep him and give me Kenyatta.
So your foster grandmother said, "Give me my own."
Oh yeah, we had a rough relationship anyway.
She
We
essentially
just,
told the police,
yeah, to keep
"Keep
him
Byron.
and give me
I
my
want
baby.
my grandson back."
Yeah. So now, before all this happened, at maybe like 16, I got caught with work, which is like a package of rocks, maybe 500 pack of rocks. So now I'm a ward of a state. So I have my manager, counselor, whoever, my guardian, which is the state of Illinois. He'll come. So he got my case kicked down to the lower courts and just got me probation for a first-time offense.
This was the year before this
Now, it was actually the same year, just
Okay.
like a couple of months before this
prior
happened.
offense. Someone came to help you from the state
Yeah, from DCFS.
and helped you because you're a kid.
Yeah.
Helped you work your way out of the police station.
No,
essentially.
he put me before a certain judge, and
Sure. Someone
they
came to
get me.
advocate for you. Yes.
Yes.
Right. But this time,
So in my mind, I think this is why it's going to happen again, because they don't have no evidence on me. They don't have no gun on me. They don't have
right?
anything on me but the word of another known gang member.
Right.
So he tells me to sign this, which has happened last time. Sign this and we're going to let you go.
Who tells you that?
The police.
Police officer hands you something and says,
He had me a piece of paper, said, sign this and we're going to let you go. Now, believe it or not, this haven't happened with the 500 pack of work.
Okay.
I signed that paper. My manager came down there. He came and got me, and they took me back home. So I signed it. But it turned out it was a statement said that I had committed a crime. So we fast forward all the way to the court hearings. So we go to the court. Now I have a witness that said that I didn't do it.
Okay.
And believe it or not, this witness is the person that said I did it.
Who is that?
Marlo. But the judge would not, Michael P. Toomey would not let him recant his statement. He would not. And he was in there for a murder that he committed. So the judge said, how can I take the word of a murderer?
I see.
But you took the word over the same person to convict me.
Yeah.
Or to try me, because I wasn't convicted yet.
Right.
So, it was just, it just was a hard battle, right? And I don't know, it was just hard.
It was a combination of people lying,
Yeah.
of you being a kid not knowing what was happening, of you expecting that the same process you had gone through last time would be the same, and it wasn't. The paper
Right.
you were signing was different than the paper you'd signed the first time.
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to, in that time, it was just frowned upon to be anywhere near the police. You know what I mean? Just like, you don't talk to the police. You don't say nothing to the police, especially when you're doing the things that I was doing. So
So we'll just call it like it is right now. You were in prison for 30 years for a crime that you did not commit.
Yeah. But again, I did a lot of stuff I didn't get caught for.
Sure.
A lot.
Take a breath right there. No one would blame you for spending the rest of your life filled with hatred and bitterness and worse because of being in prison for 30 years for a crime that you did not commit.
Yeah.
However, while you were in prison, you found Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe more accurately, he found you. Can you tell us about how that happened?
So, in prison, I was doing more dirty stuff. As you know, as I said earlier, I was a part of gangs. So, in prison, you have a structure where you have to do certain things to, you know, be a part and survive. So, you know, I was the guy that they called to violate another gang member if he did something wrong.
Okay.
So at this time, I'm in the cell with LC, which is abnormal because I really don't have cellies at all.
Those are his initials, LC.
Yeah, that's his name,
That's his name,
LC
LC.
Gatewood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't want a cellmate, but they put you in LC Gatewood cell.
No, he put LC to my cell.
Your cell, okay.
Yeah. So LC is in my opinion, is a stumped down Christian. He's not afraid of anybody. He's going to preach the word no matter what's going on. He's like today's model herald. You know, he's going to talk it whether you want to hear it or not.
Okay.
He's gonna preach his sermon on the gallery. He's gonna read his books on the gallery. He's gonna even talk to me in the cell whether I want to hear it or not. And for some reason, like I just don't get along with sellers at all, and I just don't want no other man around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel that way towards LC, but I didn't let the LC know that. But I wouldn't make him feel uncomfortable in the cell or anything like that. I didn't tell him to shut up. Probably wouldn't have did no good anyway, but he did what he wanted to do, and and that's what he did. He preached the word of God. So this was like a shower day, and they come to me, they say, we want you to take care of Buddy in the shower.
This is someone from the gang.
Yeah, this is the guy that I ain't gonna call him the chief, but he's the overseer of that cell house.
So he comes to you and says, we need you to take care of somebody.
And I immediately told him no. I think he was taken aback by it. He's like, and then he turned into leave because he thought I said okay or something, but I guess it registered him that I said no. So he turned about and then he asked me why.
Yeah, you'd never said no before.
No, I ain't never said no before.
Yeah.
So when he asked me why, now I can't really tell you why, because I never claimed to be a Christian. I never went to no Bible studies, no church, or I never talked to no Christians on the yard or in the cell house or the child hall, nothing. That's just nothing I was into.
Yep.
And when he asked me why, that's what I told him. I said, I'm a Christian now. And I'm not a lying man, so, for me to, if I say something, I mean it. So the only reason, I believe, only reason a person lie is because they either fear you or they don't respect you. I didn't fear this man, nor did I have any disrespect for this man. So I don't know why. I can't tell you why those words came out of my mouth that I was a Christian, but it did. And from that point on, I'm going to carry myself like a Christian. Now, LC, we used to, I like to say he forced it on me, but I went along with it easily. We used to have Bible studies and, just talk about Old Testament in the cell all the time. And like when he read it, he used to read it over and over so much, I can literally, finish his sentence or finish the Bible verse he's finna say. Yeah. Because he just read it like, okay. And from that point on, we, I would say like 6 months later, I got baptized. And I can't say I didn't look back, but because I had some stumbling points, but I think I stayed the course. Yes. Even in that thick of things, I stayed the course. So I definitely stayed the course out here. So I just, yes, I didn't mind it.
Byron, thank you for sharing that. Our church is we are so grateful that you found us, but we are so grateful that we have you. Amen. Can we thank Byron for his story tonight? Thank you, brother.
All right.
Anything else on your mind?
Nope.